Welcome back to another podcast, guys. I'm your host, Brother Sean Brumfield. Hope you guys are enjoying everything that we've been putting out there. And today, I've got Brother Ryan Brown with me.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on, man?
I don't know. My electrician stuff kind of kicked in, and I seen that cable sticking up. It was bothering me.
Yeah, I'm pretty picky with the cables myself.
Yeah, I'm a fidgeter, which people could probably pick up on that anyway. So if I'd have seen that, it had just been on my mind this whole time. It would have drove me nuts.
I don't know if anybody's noticed or not, but if you go back and look at some of the videos we put up, well, I've had Brother Jonathan's all messed up the whole time. If you look, his was a spring loaded.
Yeah.
And it's drooping down the side. Like, it's not even connected to it. It comes up, it connects to the bar, and then, like, in between the two scissors, there's a little cable hanging out. And I'm like, why didn't I ever fix it? And every time we record, I think to fix it, and I never
do it.
Never do it.
This year, we just flipped it right before we started recording. So I put all this in, and then I was like, man, I should have done a better job with that. That looks awful. But, yeah. So, oh well. You can only do so much, right?
Yeah. There's with our budget, there's only so much we can do.
Yeah, for sure. And how you enjoying this beautiful rainy day?
Dude. I hate it. I was talking to a lady stopped in the day, and I'm gonna make the same gripe I made last year. I said, I hate this fall muddy mess.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. You know, it gets all over the place. It messes up your house, and it's just, my yard is kind of hilly, so as you like walk through it, and especially my front, there's a deep dive. Sometimes I'll try to make a shortcut instead of taking the steps, go down the hill. I've done that so many times, step down there and it's muddy and I just slide all the way down the hill. And, it's no fun. I hate doing that.
This is the time I love having my dog, and, he's been with us for several years now.
Yeah.
But this is the time of the year where I'm like, man, I wish I didn't have a dog. So
our dogs they do okay.
Yeah.
But you cannot touch their paws. No matter what you do, they like freak out.
Really?
If you touch their paws.
Now, he'll let you do it, but he's not very cooperative. But see, what's added to ours is I've got on all sides of my house, I've got dogs. So both neighbors have got a dog or two. And then behind us, kind of diagonal, is a house that I don't know if they're breeding them or what, but they got these Australian Shepherds, and there's like 10 of them in their backyard, and they are the yappiest dogs ever. And so my dog, who normally doesn't bark, he's a very quiet, for the most part, dog, but he is a dog, so he does bark. But he's got to the point now where he knows that all those dogs are in that corner, so he'll go to the bathroom and he walks his line, and he starts barking at these dogs. And when they start barking, it gets him wound up. So he starts running the fence line, which then gets the neighbor's dogs barking on the other side. So they start running the fence line. And so he's got this big mud track right there. So now when you have this kind of weather and he starts doing that, and my dog's an English cream retriever.
Yeah.
So he's white. But he's not white when he comes back in. And it is so annoying.
The dark chocolate by the time he gets back.
Yeah, you got to wash them off and all that stuff. Yeah,
no, our dogs do pretty good staying clean. The Great Pyrenees, especially, if she doesn't like how the Golden Doodle looks, which I can't stand that dog, she'll like make him sit down and clean him up forever. Our biggest problem is, we don't have a ton of dogs around us. There's a puppy that's next door. We get coyotes.
Yeah.
Crazy back here. And one night, and I don't know why this made me think of it, but you're talking about your dogs like barking and all that.
Yeah.
The other night, we were sitting out, or just opening up the front door, and the dogs were out, and they were barking like crazy. And you could hear the coyotes across the road. There's a cow pasture back here.
Oh, yeah.
And that you could just hear those dogs like playing, and it's so creepy when you hear them howling.
Yeah, when you hear them howl. Yeah.
And you're like, I know that they are out there hunting right now, and it sounds like they're having a blast, but you're like, I hope they don't come across the street.
It's kind of neat to read what they do because they kind of lure in like they're playful, and then they get your little small dogs or whatever alone, and then the whole pack. I don't know that neat maybe might not be the word for it, but it is kind of one of those deals where it's like, you know, they kind of come in friendly and then they turn on you.
I do think it's interesting because I've seen where people are, they go on the news and they say, there was this, we got it on camera, you know, especially when you know that, and they have this like a Chihuahua or something, and those coyotes come out and they play with it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it gets out of light and it gets in the dark, they just snatch that thing up and
it's gone
and run off with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It is crazy what they do. But
I did see, I won't say it was Montana or somewhere, that there's a wolf pack that has a Chihuahua in it.
Really?
Yes. And it's not just one occurrence. Like it's been several occurrences that people have seen this particular pack coming through.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. And as they come through, there's this little mangy dog, you know, probably the least favorite of dog breeds in my opinion. And it's out there with wolves. You're like, what? That must be a mean Chihuahua.
All Chihuahuas are mean.
Yeah.
They are the epitome of little man syndrome.
Yeah, I just don't mean like mean, but like it's got to be bossy, like more than just like feral, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't like Chihuahuas though.
No, I never have.
Yeah, we had one time, and for whatever reason, it liked me. So as long as it liked me, so Chihuahuas are territorial, and they're typically like a family, but most of the time they're a person dog. Maybe two if it's an older couple, they'll be like a 2-person dog, but most of the time they sit loyal. So this dog come in and he was the Taco Bell dog type, that short brown haired, you know, and ugliest dog we've ever owned in my whole life. But for whatever reason, it took to me. So it would sit on my lap, and if somebody came up to talk to me, it would start snapping at me. That's the only time I ever liked a Chihuahua. Other than that, I've never liked Chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas are dogs that I accidentally step on.
Yeah.
You know.
Kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Sorry, buddy. You know, I don't know. It's I don't like those. I'm not a small dog person.
No, I'm not either.
You know, I can take the medium. I'm a big dog.
You've been with me, man. I've always been a large dog person. I tell my wife I'm ready to be no dogs. Like I'm ready to enter that stage in my life where no more animals, because our life is constantly on the run. So it's not fair to them, and it's just like the hassle's getting old, you know. And then I say that, and we take in 2 rabbits.
Yeah.
So they don't live in the house, just a little, you know, the dog stays in the house,
you know,
but the rabbits are outside, and unless the kids bring them in for a short amount of time and then they go outside. But I'm ready to be a no animal family. And then I say, unless I can get me another Great Dane.
You know, talking like this, we might lose our sponsorship from Potty Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're not inside dog people.
No. Well, they do have Puppet.
Well, yeah, Brother Dustin does, yeah. But the rest of them, crucify poor Brother Dustin.
Yeah.
Poor old deacon.
Yeah. Well, you know.
They might crucify us, though, now.
That's all right.
I got 2.
It's a different area.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's almost like cultures, right? So up here, it's not looked down upon to have a dog inside the house. It's not, for the most part. And in some places it is. In other places it's, you know, 6 one way, half dozen another.
You think Oklahoma's that different?
Not different in a bad way. But most of the people that I met from Oklahoma, if they do dogs, they will never be on the inside of the house.
I don't know too many people from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Those that I do that moved here, so it's kind of been forced.
Yeah, and those don't like dogs in the house.
No. They're half, they're in and out. You know, they kind of have that.
Well, that's because the one already had a dog.
Well, the Ohioan wins most of the time. You know.
I won't go that far.
For the most part.
Yeah, I won't go that far.
When it comes to dogs, maybe.
Yeah. Man, so today, on the day of recording, and not the day that this is published, but the day that we're recording, It was the most eventful morning going to school because we were going, and of course we're listening to Christmas music because Star 93.3 has Christmas music out. I don't put any of my decorations up, but I've kind of lost the battle on the Christmas music side of the deal. And so we're listening to Christmas music, and they start giving their weather report, and they start talking about it's rainy, which it's been rainy all day long.
Yeah.
And then chances of thunderstorms. So you have that. And like, we're all in mid conversation, and all of a sudden the weather guy's like, and we can't rule out the possibility of an isolated tornado. And it was like, all my kids just went, and they just sat there. And so I stopped talking because I was waiting for it, you know, and nothing was said for a minute. And then finally my little girl in the back said, "Did he say tornado?" And I was like, yeah, he said he couldn't rule it out. I don't want a tornado. I was like, and then I had to go into it. That doesn't mean that we have a tornado. So then on the way, we was getting ready to exit the school. And my oldest boy, Ben, he was like, "Are the thunderstorms over?" I was like, it had thundered once. I think the whole time that we were in school, I heard it thunder one time. I don't know.
I never wanted the tornado, but I was more than happy to do our tornado drill during school. Get me out of class.
We did a fire drill for the first time. It wasn't today. It was yesterday.
I was about to say, in the rain? Well, it was kind of rainy yesterday a little bit too, but
that wasn't that bad.
Not as bad. But
We did a fire drill. I was the one teacher that didn't warn the students. There was another teacher that did. I know what it sounds like because I used to install them.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to see their reactions because I know it's coming. So I was kind of like that evil dude sitting in the corner, like, please make that loud noise go off. I want to see which ones come and which ones don't.
We never got warned for a fire drill.
Mm-mm. No, I don't think you're supposed to warn the students.
Yeah, I don't think you are either.
I don't think you're supposed to let them know.
Today's society, we've got a bunch of participation trophy students that kind of need that.
Maybe. Again, I think it's all a matter of
the generation.
You got to be able to control the classroom type deal. But I don't know. It was still pretty fun. It was pretty cool. We did it. They also kind of started understanding something was going on because this was the first time, and this is a newer building for us. So the fire department was doing a whole bunch of inspections right before. So then when they came in my classroom, and I had like 4 fire guys walking through, and they walked the perimeter, and they was looking at everything, then they were like, the kids kind of started looking at me, and they're going, something's going on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You ever been with the kids that pulled the fire alarm?
No.
We've had that happen a couple times in the school I went to.
I've been with kids.
I was never part of that group. I guess I should say it's not the group, but I mean, where you had it was found out a kid pulled it.
Yeah, I don't know that I can recall. I don't know that we've ever had that. The worst that we ever had was we had kids that got a hold of the stink bombs.
Oh yeah,
and busted them in the hallway. Mm-hmm. That was bad.
The church I grew up at, Shadeville, they had fire alarms, and that one night during service, one of the little kids got a hold of it. So in the middle of service, it goes off, and it killed everything. Obviously, But,
that's the end of the service at that point.
Yeah, those parents were so mortified when they found out. But it is what it is.
It happens.
Just got to pay that service charge when they show up.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't call and tell them not to come.
Yeah, they still got to come and check it out. But.
Right. It wouldn't be that big of a service call for ours. They just huff it across the street.
we don't have a fire alarm.
I don't even know that we got smoke detectors.
We would hear they would hear church is on fire. Yeah, we know it. Come to our church. Lord really blew this place apart last night.
We got exit signs.
Yeah.
I've installed
Sister such and such has 3rd-degree burns, but church was on fire. It was awesome. Was on fire. It was awesome.
That's what it says in Acts chapter 2, right? Fire fell on them.
Yeah. It really did that time. No, I was kidding. Some thirsty Christians in that place.
Yeah. So today, the 24th, is National Brownie Locks Day.
Brownie locks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you care to clarify what that is?
So just to start off, happy Brownie Locks Day. And you can start telling everybody that. If you listen to this podcast Happy Brownie Locks Day, also known as Big Hair Day and Brunette Pride Day.
Oh my goodness! So it is exactly what you think it would be. So it's instead of Goldilocks, it's
Brownie Locks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel kind of special.
Yeah.
I got the brown hair.
I figured you'd like it.
Yeah.
It's also National Sardines Day.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that one.
I'll tell you another one that threw me off. National Use Even if Seal is Broken Day. Now, I'm a pretty adventurous type person, especially as I get older. I've been known to try some pretty dumb things. I don't think that I would ever try something if the seal is broken. There's a reason why they got put on there in the first place.
Yeah, it depends on what it is, I guess. If it's,
I guess if it's a homemade thing, and it's considered that they can, because they're showing a picture of a homemade jar of pickles and like some onions next to the jar.
If it's something that I may have prepared, I may have tried that.
Yeah, but I don't consider. I guess the seal's broken, but I don't think it's the same thing.
Well, I don't know. There's some. So seal of broken is still different than if you had a expiration date of some sort, right?
Yeah, it doesn't say use even if it's expired. It just says use even.
So
if
there's
the
some
seal is
limitations to that. Then I guess is
maybe.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Like I said, if I'm going through the store and I see something where the seal is broken, I'm not using it.
Like a jar of pickles comes through, and you can like click, 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 click.
Yeah, if I could play the little annoying song on top of the lid.
Yeah.
Or
what does it also go to? Like if you're like kind of playing basketball with your buddies and you don't know if that's your water bottle or not, so you like.
Yeah,
look to see.
That's one of those deals.
So when it comes to that, are you a go ahead and drink it, or are you a kind of guy that's like, I think I'm going to get me another one? Or does it depend on the group of guys?
I think it depends on the group of guys, and it depends on how thirsty I am.
So if me, you, Brother Jonathan, Brother Jared was playing basketball, would you risk it?
I'd probably steal one of your guys' drinks if I was like dying of thirst. Yeah, but I know you guys, so it's not like a big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and most of the time, if it's in bottles like that, and I don't think it's mine, I'm waterfalling it anyway, even though spit still gets in the drink.
Do you ever think doing the waterfall? Like I felt so pressured in high school when I did the waterfall because I'd see guys do it and like didn't get a drop on them, and you're just like, oh.
And then you pour it all over your face.
And then I go to get it, I miss my mouse.
Yeah, you're supposed to line it up with your mouth before you pour. Don't start pouring before you look up.
Hey, I was homeschooled for the first couple times, so hey, that's just the way it is.
That is hilarious. Yeah, no. So I watch the kids today. Some people don't care to drink after others, and then they do the whole waterfall thing. I had to explain to my kids because I've got one that won't drink after anybody. Or I've got two that won't drink after anybody.
Yeah,
and I've got one that says just waterfall it. If one takes a drink and then the other one's like, I'm not going to drink after you. I can't do it. And then they'll say, just waterfall it. That's all you got to do.
I'm going to say it's Caden and Kennedy.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And so they'll talk Kennedy into it if it's waterfall. And the other day we had to explain if they put it to their lips, then backwash still got in the drink.
There's still a transfer of germs. Yeah.
So if you're waterfalling it, you're just waterfalling. You're just not adding to the spittle.
That's a terrible word.
What, spittle?
Spittle.
I don't know. I was teaching about mucus the other day. That was fun.
Yeah, we're going to get demonetized for this one. Probably. No.
It's a great thing to think of right before Thanksgiving.
My brother absolutely does not drink after anybody.
Yeah.
Now, he may, like, after me, maybe. But, like, as far as, like, just a friend, nah, he's not going to. He's a germaphobe out the wazoo. And like even my grandma on my dad's side, it's like we if we took a drink out of her pop, she's gonna do it no matter what. Just boom, didn't care.
2020 changed a lot of things.
Oh, this was when I was a kid. So.
Yeah, so 2020 for me changed a lot.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little bit more. I was the one that you didn't think about it. You stick your mouth to the hose as you're drinking. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, hose water tasted the best.
It did. Well, as long as you didn't drink it as soon as you turn the water on, because that was extremely scalding hot water.
It was always hot, yeah. Hot,
And very nasty.
And you may have had some extra proteins in there.
Yeah. But if you let it cool off and then you just stick that bad boy right in your mouth, man, let it just go right down your gullet. You're doing great.
Yeah.
You know?
I always felt sick afterwards, but I was doing great. I could still play football for another 15, 20 minutes.
I still drink out of the hose. If I'm mowing and I'm outside, I'll still drink out of the hose. I don't care. It don't bother me. That one don't. I'm getting to where the only person I drink after now is my wife. I'll drink after her. I might drink after my kids, depending
on the kid.
Yeah. No, not depending on the kid, depending on how they sound when they're talking.
I'll share with Lissa. We'll share a drink, especially if confession time, right? It's good for the soul. If we go to a steakhouse and I get too big of a steak and I get excited and it gets lodged in my throat, and I'm like, give me your Coke. And you're like, fight trying to fight it to get it down, and then finally you just like reach across the table and steal her drink and couldn't you wait for refill? No, I was dying on a steak.
Did you already have yours drunk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sucking on ice cubes and waiting for that to melt.
Why not? Push that bad boy in your mouth. Let the spittle work, man. Do you know it was put in there to help you digest your food? I went through a whole body lesson in science class.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
That saliva does that, yes.
Yeah.
But when you say it was put in there as far as like backwash for your drink, like you mean somebody's sitting back here behind the counter just spitting in people's cups before they bring them out?
You never know.
Oh, man, we're going to gross people out in this one.
This is the truth.
Well,
do you know that there's a certain amount of acceptable like bug parts and stuff that can be on cans and all that stuff?
Well, inside the cans too, as far as like,
and we drink that stuff all day long.
Well, okay. Did you hear this story about this lady said she opened up her Mountain Dew and found a dead mouse inside the Mountain Dew?
I heard that story, yes.
Okay. Mountain Dew went and did a study and said that's impossible because our stuff is so acidic that by the time the mouse would get to the can would get to you, that mouse would be dissolved in that.
Mm. So if you ordered regular Mountain Dew and it was red and gloppy, you know something was wrong.
It's just acid, man. It's probably still going to come out as green could be.
Nah, there'll be some residue. It'd change the color.
I don't know. It might.
It wouldn't look like urine anymore.
Depends on whose urine it is, I guess.
I'm being serious.
Yeah.
It looks awful. I can't do Mountain Dew.
I don't do it either. I have never been. The only thing I like about Mountain Dew is the different flavors. I do not like original Mountain Dew.
I can't do any of it.
I'm a Code Red or a Voltage guy. Those were my favorites.
I'm old. My body's turning against me. Mountain Dew doesn't sit well with my kidneys.
I do know that I believe, or it used to be, the leading drink for kidney stones.
I know it was one of the worst drinks for a guy to drink because of his prostate. It was really bad.
Oh, I didn't know nothing about that.
Yeah. Anyway, so happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Well, I was going to tell you this story, and I waited to tell you this for the podcast. So Sunday, when you said water hose, this brought back to my attention. So I'm going to skip back to that real quick, and then we can go back into Thanksgiving. I decided to smoke me some party ribs on Sunday.
Yeah.
For our vacation while we were out. And I've got a little smoke tube that you put like wood pellets in.
Yeah. And
I lit it and it did great. It was awesome. If you have a pellet grill or a pellet smoker grill, whatever, however you want to call it, and your food don't get smoky, get a smoke tube. But anyways, this is the first time I've ever used a smoke tube, and it did fantastic. And I had some left over from the smoke, and stupid me, I took it and I was like, oh, it's pretty much burnt out, and I put it right in the trash outside in my outdoor trash.
Did you catch it on fire?
It smoked for a while, and I looked down, I was like, oh, there ain't nothing going on down there. So I go upstairs, right? And I open up my window and I hear, I look out, There's like a 4-foot blaze coming out the end of my Rubbermaid trash can. Surprisingly, I didn't burn a hole in the thing. But, dude, I drenched that thing. Like, the guy who picked that up today
Had a ton of water.
dude, he got to work out for his life. Because I was just like, I didn't have a hose. So I had some distilled water.
Yeah.
That was like, I don't know, a third of like a gallon or whatever. I dumped all that in there. And then I went and I filled that up like 5 times to try to drench it out. But yeah, I've almost caught my house on fire.
Yeah.
And I successfully caught my trash can on fire.
Oh. It makes for memories.
Yeah, there's your stereotypical man right here. You know, felt like an idiot when you get to go. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to do all that.
Hey, look, that's all right. First time I ever used one of them charcoal, where you got the little chimneys for the charcoal,
yeah.
and I had it lit, and I sat it down and I sat it on my porch. Didn't even think anything about it, and I went and picked it up, and it was catching my porch on fire underneath.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Like a deck. It was like a deck. Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned the hard way. Don't stick it on something flammable.
Was you 28 when you did it though?
Yeah, it was at the house I'm at now.
Oh.
I didn't even think about it. It was all sitting up there, and I just sat it down and walked away because it wasn't like you don't see the open flame.
Yeah, that's
charcoal,
true.
So I didn't, it was one of those. I will say,
I messed up.
I'll go ahead and say that my wife probably needed me for something. All the kids were about to kill each other. The phone rung and somebody needed pastor counsel. The dog was chasing a bunny down the road or something. Every excuse in the world so it doesn't look like that I just had a lapse in judgment and sat it down on a piece of wood.
I don't have all those things to distract me. I was just stupid and did it.
Well,
just be honest.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Confession's good for the soul.
Yeah,
so,
I was stupid too and sat it down on a deck, but I'm trying to figure out some other person to blame.
I don't have any kids. Like I said, the dogs are going crazy.
Yeah.
I'll say my wife was hungry. That's the best.
Yeah, you were rushing to get the food out there. Yeah.
It was burn a trash can or die.
Yeah.
And
I don't know that she would think that's the best excuse.
Well, she'll listen and yell at me later.
Yeah, Lissa, just know I'm on your side with this one.
Have you ever? I mean, you've met her when she's hangry.
Yeah,
it's easy to die.
She's come to church several times hangry. Or she's left church several times.
Yeah, well, she's done both. When we first got married, I took her to church several times hungry, and that was a mistaken boo-boo on my side. But her special thing is she can kill me and resurrect me and bring me back and keep doing it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So
that's
dead man walking here.
That's talent.
Well, I keep putting her in positions to do it.
Yeah.
So
that's also talent. So segueing into not being hangry.
I'm just thankful to be alive, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So Thanksgiving, right around the corner. I cannot believe, in all honesty, I look back and I'm thinking, I cannot believe that it's already Thanksgiving.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Like we're seriously 2 months away from the end of the year. And I feel like I just went to bed and woke up and said, Happy New Year 2025.
It's not even 2 months before the end of the year.
I know it. It's a little over a month.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How fast this thing has went.
I always I laughed when elders were like, oh, you just wait till you get older. Blah, 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 blah. Days go by faster. And every year I found out, dude, if this is like what it's like for me, I can't imagine being their age and seeing how fast it goes.
I don't understand how it happened.
85 and like technically a whole year's 3 days, really.
I sit most of my days now. I sit down at the end and I look back through like recounting the day's events and I find myself saying one of two things. How did this happen? Or how did I end up here? And that's the common thing. Like it's the days are just, they're gone.
Well, I sit back and I think, and I'm like, is today Friday? I felt like I was just at Friday. And you're like, oh, it's Thursday. Oh my goodness, dude.
Yeah.
It's like I was just here. I just did all this stuff. And what did I actually accomplish throughout this week?
Right. I can't believe that it's the beginning of this week. Like I woke up today thinking, oh man, weekend's right around the corner.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That makes for a long week when you have that thought process. But hey, it is what it is. But then I keep telling myself, got the Thanksgiving break coming up. So always got something to look forward to. I also find that in this time between Thanksgiving and Christmas, my schedule gets busier and busier every single year.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I got more events for Thanksgiving this year than I had last year. And it's the same for Christmas. I get more events for Christmas than I did last year.
Okay, let me ask you this, because this bugs me. Is every time around this year, we sit there and the family gets together. Mind you, we do the same thing every year.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are we doing for Thanksgiving this year? They're like, well, for her family, we do it Thanksgiving Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday, we drive to Columbus to do it with my family. And I stay the whole weekend. And they're all like, so when are you coming down? Like, I've been away for 6 years now. And it's the same thing every year.
Yeah.
Like, does that bug you? I mean, your family's a lot closer to
yeah,
you.
so we don't have, thankfully, I don't have the 2 hours or whatever in between parents.
Yeah.
But no, when we first got married, we did on Thanksgiving Day, we did like 3 Thanksgivings in one day. And we would do like her family. I think my grandma had one, and then we had one at my family. We kind of did this whole thing. So we were literally going in, eating like hors d'oeuvres at each place because
you couldn't eat.
You just couldn't eat everybody's food, but you also didn't want to offend anybody. And one year, it was when we first got married, some of Becca's family got mad because I was like, hey, we got to go because we got to go down here. Like we split it up to where and they couldn't understand, no, we stay here all day long. I'm like, well, yeah, I stay at my family's all day long too, but I'm here with you guys, like it's a double thing. So unfortunately, some events happened that stopped some of the Thanksgiving meetings on both sides.
Yeah.
So somehow, I don't know how we did it, but somehow we made it to where my parents are on Thanksgiving and then her parents are on Thanksgiving the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Black Friday.
And so we're able to spend all day with one and then all day with the other. Well, then this year, something new got added to it. So it, threw everything out of kilter again, but it is what it is.
I will say I'm thankful that, it always works out. We never, ever have an issue we have it split up in just enough increments to where, you flip flop on every year's consistent.
Yeah.
But Thanksgiving Day will be her family. And then Christmas Day is our family, is my family.
Yeah.
And then with that consistency, you have give and take on both sides.
We do the same thing. Christmas Eve goes to my family. Christmas Day goes to hers. And then we do Christmas Day morning with just us. But I'm finding that Christmas is getting busier. I sit down and people are like, December this and 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 December. I've got like 5 or 6 different days in December.
Well, the church calendar alone is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's nuts. And then I've got my own personal stuff. Everybody's got their own personal stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, how in the world did we end up with so many different, which I had to make a phone call today and say, guys, I didn't realize it, but I've got a church thing the same time that we got this thing. So either A, I'm going to be late. My family will be there because we do Thanksgiving baskets, Christmas baskets on Christmas, not Thanksgiving. At least I didn't say Easter.
Yeah, at least I didn't say Easter basket. That's a big win right there.
Yeah, so we do the Christmas baskets at the church on the Monday before Christmas, that Monday of the week of. Well, that's also supposed to be time I'm supposed to gather with some family for Christmas on our schedule. So I had to make the call today and I was like, guys, I'm either not going to be there at all or I'm going to come in really late.
Tail end of things.
Yeah. So, but it's just a dinner and it's not going to be like, cause my grandma does it and I won't see a lot of them. That's like one of the only times that I ever see some of that side of the family.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to see them all, but it's kind of one of those deals like, yeah, I can't reschedule that because that's something they've been doing long before I was ever pastor.
My name's kind of on the building.
Yeah.
I think I ought to be there for
We're handing out paperwork that says I'm the pastor. So it's kind of one of those deals that to kind of feel obligated,
Yeah.
But
yeah. Some things you just can't can't change. And unfortunately, that's something with the holidays that, especially just life in general.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for people to understand just how busy people are. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But sometimes life is just out of hand. I was talking with my mom and just conversation of, we don't get to be with you or whatever. And it's, and it goes both ways. I don't get to be with them either.
Right.
So when you get to that point of trying to make that holiday special,
yeah,
try not to be too stressed or anything like that, and try to savor what time you do have.
Right.
But life in general, the speed at which things move, especially being in the ministry, stuff is constantly moving, constantly changing. I mean, I've been with you. Your phone rings all the time.
Yeah.
Not to say it's always church, but when you're in a position of that sort, or you have extra things. I mean, like we take our schedule, obviously we do a lot together. We work hand in hand together in ministry, but we also do the podcast,
right?
Which takes a day every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Edit the podcast, work into studying for Sunday school, preaching, whatever's is got going on. Right. Somebody needs prayer at the hospital.
Yeah.
You don't have any time for nothing.
No, it's crazy. And then right now teaching.
Yeah.
I added that to it, which, idle hands, they said, are the devil's handiwork. Right? So I haven't learned how to let my hands be idle.
Yeah.
A
blessing and a curse, and sometimes.
Yeah. But it's one of those deals where the one thing about it is it should get us to stop and reflect when you have this time. As I sit back, you're at Thanksgiving, and it's really the scope of the world in general, talking about making time go fast.
Yeah.
Right? So you're in June, July, August, you get to like the beginning of September, and they're throwing Halloween stuff out.
That's crazy.
You've got all of September into October where they're all the Halloween stuff, the candies, and all that stuff. The moment that Halloween is down, Christmas is up.
It is, yeah.
They'll throw some fall decorations in there from time to time, but there's really nothing that they do for Thanksgiving as far as that goes.
Well, a lot of things we've discussed it several times. A lot of times people's fall decorations is Christmas.
Yeah. They are.
The Christmas
a lot of people, right? A lot of
earlier
people
and earlier.
Yeah. So you when you are going into everyday life things, let's just throw out nationally recognized, or at least United State recognized. Let's just say Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody can relate to Walmart. You go into Walmart and you automatically relate to the fact that they're bringing stuff out like almost 2 months, in some cases 2 months, before it ever gets there. So that's already got your mind in this rush. Like, oh man, we're already this close to Christmas.
Right.
In the grand scheme of things, you've still got a little bit of time, but it doesn't feel like you've got time because you're immersed in it. And then you have radio programs that the moment that Halloween's over, they're playing Christmas music. And if you're like me, you've got little kids, or you've got younger kids that absolutely love Christmas music, and a wife that absolutely loves
your spouse
Christmas
just
music.
loves it.
And then plus on top of that, my wife puts on the Christmas play for the church. So July for us, I am hearing, not me personally, but my wife is listening to Christmas plays to do for our young people to try to figure out which one we're going to do. So I mean, for me, as early as July, I'm getting some sort of Christmas something. We program the way the world does. The world programs us to kind of move at a faster speed. And they even said, I read a study that said that if you're going down the road and you see a billboard that's McDonald's, we already link McDonald's as fast food.
Mm-hmm.
So it automatically does something in our brain because we relate that to being fast food. It automatically does something in our brain that feels like that we're going to kind of have to rush a little bit. We're programmed.
Right.
And in the way that life is, we're programmed to rush and rush and rush and rush. Well, when we're rushing, we're filling our our time with more stuff because we don't have enough time in the day to get it all done, and we're rushing. So we got to add more and more and more. It's causing everything to, it just causes it to go out in a whirlwind. That's why I love Thanksgiving so much, because Thanksgiving kind of gives you a time to sit down with family. The food's great. Obviously, we talk about food almost every podcast.
Yeah.
So you guys know that we like to eat. But you kind of sit down and it kind of is like a refresh. You sit down, and if you do like us, we try to say what we're thankful for, stuff to that nature. It kind of causes some of that to come to a halt. It doesn't stop, but it causes it for the first time. You're not sitting there and like, oh man, we got this and we got this and we got this. They've even stopped doing Black Friday stuff like they have. It's not as out of hand now.
Yeah. Well, now you can, during Thanksgiving dinner,
Right.
you can sit and shop on Amazon and get those deals before.
Well, you can, but that's why, to me, I think Thanksgiving it's overlooked. It shouldn't be, because I do think it's a good time to be able to sit down and just recap, kind of put the brakes on how fast life is going, and just sit and see the blessings that God has given you.
See, I like Thanksgiving. I have a great time, but sometimes I feel like it is rushed. With family, it can be very. Maybe it's just the way I am and the way I'm wired to think about stuff. And it's like, and there's some people who help, some people who don't. As far as like, sometimes it can be a big chore, to have these big holiday things, because some people rest a lot more than others, right? Or you're thinking like you're talking about, you got 3 lined up, bing bang boom, and then it's more work than. But I'm the same thought process when it comes to vacation. Yeah. Like if I'm on vacation too long, it drives me crazy, because I'm not resting. I'm walking here, walking there, doing this and that, traveling this, which I enjoy a portion of it, but like I don't like to do it all crammed together and just, there's no time for rest. And I feel like sometimes when the thought process should be how thankful we are for things, that gets thrown away beyond with the hustle and bustle of tradition. You know what I mean?
It can. It can. That's why it's kind of one of those deals that we have to be mindful. But Thanksgiving's not the only time that we're supposed to be thankful. That's the one thing I was going to kind of hit it a little bit, kind of go a little bit on a more serious route here, maybe towards the closing of this. We tend to take Thanksgiving and like I said, it's overlooked and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And you're right. We can, all the hustle and bustle. It's the same thing with Christmas. All the hustle and bustle kind of takes the whole meaning of why we celebrate Christmas. Debate the birth of Christ, debate all that. We're not talking about that. But it is the time that we nationally recognize the birth of Christ, whether you believe he was born in December or not, and all that studies. I'm not.
Yeah, it's a time we set aside for it.
We set aside for his birth. We celebrate it. And that's one of the only times that you ever hear secular radio stations sing songs that actually proclaim the birth of Jesus Christ. They mention Christ and all that stuff, Christmas songs or whatever, but still, nonetheless, they are played on a national radio outside of just your Christian radio. So I don't see the harm in any of that. But one thing that we should be as Christians is we should consistently slow ourselves down to see the blessings of God in all the hustle and bustle. That's the whole. You can get that with life in general. We talked about how fast everything's going. We're getting through this Thanksgiving and stuff. We can get so caught up in the moment. We can get so caught up in everything that we have going on. We can get caught up in our trials, in our troubles. We can get caught up in the ministry, just doing the work that God has called us to do. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we're supposed to work. But even that, we get caught up in all that stuff, and we completely blow past the fact that God has been so wonderful and so faithful. And in this time of year, it should remind us, but it should be something we should always do. In 1 Thessalonians, I was trying to keep it pulled up, but my phone's not cooperating with me. This is where having the actual Bible. I tell my kids all the time, I don't ever want to see you with your phones out using that for a Bible, and then I find myself doing it.
Well, it's not a church service.
Yeah,
that's a
right.
big deal.
Yeah, it would be different if I was pulling it up to preach out of it. But this app,
The good old iPhone
this app
version.
really liking me no more. I might have to get a different Bible app. It's the U version. Normally, U version does pretty good, but it doesn't like it.
eSword.
But well, you have to pay for it for iPhone, and I'm being cheap. So 1 Thessalonians 5:18. So before all of this is where you get down into where he's saying rejoice evermore and all that stuff, which we talked about that in depth already.
Right.
But 1 Thessalonians, if I can get it to pull up, and I ain't gonna get it to pull up, so we'll just go Mr. Googs, because I don't want to misquote it. But 1 Thessalonians 5:18, it basically says, in all things giving thanks, which is the will of God for your life.
Yeah.
And we talk about all the time, as Christians, a lot of people ask, well, how do you know what the will of God is and all that stuff? And there's some things that you do have to fill after, whether it's the will of God or not. But the one thing that will always be black and white in your Bible is our response.
Yeah, the Thanksgiving of.
We should be thankful. Mm-hmm. And living in a time of hustle and bustle, living in a time of great hurry, living in a time where we're just so engrossed and engulfed in life, we have a tendency to continue to go back for, Lord, I need this, Lord, I need that,
right.
Lord, I need this. It's prayers. I'm not saying, I'm not throwing rocks at anybody, but prayers are kind of stuck on, we need your help, we need this touch, we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that. And then there's not really a whole lot of, in all of this, we need, we're doing, we're running, we're hurrying. You don't just hear a whole lot anymore about, Lord, I'm very thankful for what you've done and how you've helped.
I was thinking about, we mentioned going to that conference for Brother Bill Finley that he put on. And Brother Roger Boyd got up and he ministered and talking about how living outside of the content that God has, living without content in the blessings that he has bestowed upon us is so far away from being a godly concept.
Mm-hmm.
When you're thinking, and I was challenging myself, I was praying about it and really got a hold of me on, why are you always looking to do bigger, better?
Mm-hmm.
Why, and I'm not talking about improving your spiritual walk, trying to be a better person, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But physical wants, desires, just earthly pleasures, right? I'm not necessarily talking about sin. I'm just talking about, going out and spending tons of money on, your next electronic upgrade or your next truck or this and that and kind of stuff, and how not being content with the blessings that God has given you is a concept that pulls you away from the gratefulness of God.
Yeah.
It pulls you away from understanding, the things that he has provided, because you're always in the state of saying, I want, and before you know it, the I want becomes I need.
Yeah.
And when it becomes I need, you can overlook so many things.
What God's already done.
You can not just the things that God's already done, but you can overlook the selfishness of certain things you may do to achieve that, right? So, you want that $75,000, Chevy, but you're gonna work 70 hours a week and it pulls you out of the house of God.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thoughtfulness. That's not a thankfulness for what God has already provided for you.
Right.
I'm not saying that's what I was doing. I was not doing that. But the eyes of men are never satisfied. I was always looking like, even for the show, like just the simple, the grind of I want to upgrade my camera. I want to get this and that and make this easier. Make it look nice. When it's like, wow, do we really need all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
No. Could I have spent, $1,500 on a camera? Yeah, I could have, but I worked around and what we have is working.
Yeah.
You know, instead of 1,500, spend 150. You know, I was thinking, brother. I don't think it's brother. There was a man who preached at PFYC one time and talked about living and being a good steward,
Mm-hmm.
and said, how is it that a man who, let's say, makes $100,000 spends $65,000 on a vehicle, but then we look at a man who makes $1 million and spends $100,000 on a vehicle, and we want to look at the man who spent $100,000 vehicle and say, did you really need that? Well, when in perspective, the $100,000 vehicle, they only spent 10% of his
Right.
income on, right? And then you look at the, it's kind of starting to sound like a Dave Ramsey show, but I'm telling you, it's not. But the guy who spent $65,000 spent 65% of his income
Right.
for that. And when you look at the year, right?
Yeah.
And it's like when you get to looking about stewardship, if you're that dude making $100,000 buying that kind of vehicle, and then you the way you, which I'm not saying if God's blessed you like that and you're able to do that, you know,
Yeah. That's
go
wonderful.
ahead. Yeah. This is just an example. I'm
Lord.
not saying if you make that and this or that, whatever. But I mean, in our own eyes, we can't just say, you know, this person is handling money better than that person because of, but when you put it in the perspective of what God has blessed you with,
Right.
the guy who's spent less, even though he made more, and you know, in ratios, right, percentages, is more. The thought process there
Yeah.
is more clear, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not like going out buying a $650,000 vehicle. I mean, it's just that's what we're looking at when you
Yeah.
get down to those kinds of things, you know.
It's crazy to see, you know, like I said, it's just the way that this life we're living in a life where people want more,
Yeah,
and we're living in a day where people expect to receive more. A lot of hand-me-outs, a lot of, you know, what is that going to do for me? How's that going to help me? That's why I really like pulling into this here. So 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you." It's not just in the good, and it's not just in the whatever has been handed to me in the good or in the blessings, and it's in all things.
yeah,
I might be going through the hardest trial of my life right now, but I made it through a day.
yeah,
So for that, I give thanks. I give thanks that I'm in my trial. I give thanks that God proves himself in the hardships and stuff of that nature. So as we sit down and as we get ready to enjoy our turkey dinners and all the other great fixings that go with it, just take a moment to really just sit down and truly not just say, well, I'm thankful for this, that, or like just take some time to truly give thanks.
Well, when you get to sit down and look at, and when you pray about some things that you go through, it seems like recently I've been in a lot of conversations about the perspective of why am I in this trial that I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
or so. And I think one conversation was talking about how does God feel when the very first thing that you think about in your trial is the devil did this to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't even take a moment to ask him what's going on.
Yeah.
Half the time you blame it on the devil. It's not even really the devil.
It's just something that life throws at you.
You know? But those are the first people that blame it on the devil are also the first people to take the Lord's name in vain when it comes to those kinds of things.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not and I don't know why we're going this way, but I'm going to go this way a little bit. It's not even a second thought to take his name in vain when you're like that, because you're not praying about the situations. It shows how deep of a prayer life you have when those are your first thoughts is the devil's after me again. You know what I mean? Like he picked out this special day to come down and, you know, I say it all the time, put a nail on my tire. Well,
Yeah.
just is what it is,
Right.
you know. But when you live in thankfulness, you know, sometimes, well, it's way easier instead of saying taking his name in vain and actually just sitting down and praying. It's like, Lord, I'm I'm really not fit to take care of this right now.
Right.
You know, can you show me a way, or, help me with this? Or because no matter whether it's the devil coming after you or a time of life, everything is to be sought after in prayer.
Yeah.
The scripture says we ought to say, Lord, if Lord be willing, that ought to be our everyday conversation. And if you find yourself feeling like you are the devil's main target, number one, he's probably not really targeting you all that much, or you are in a fight for your life that needs to be fought on your knees.
Yeah.
Taken seriously in prayer. And that is what brings forth thankfulness, is the hardships that open up your eyes and bring truth into your life.
Yeah.
To be able to see the goodness of God.
Yeah. How do I know that I need him if I never go through a trial?
Yeah.
Or trouble? It's something, if you look through the grand scheme of things and you look over the scope of your life and really even the hardships, probably even more so in the hardships, I can see his mighty hand, and that truly does. So got a lot to be thankful for.
Yeah.
Tremendous amount of stuff to be thankful for.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Turkey Day.
Yeah, for sure. Eat as much as you can, short of gluttony.
Yeah.
And if you do, make sure you ask the Lord to forgive you. Some of us may fall a little short of that sometimes. But thanks for listening to us, and we'll check in with you next week.
See you, everybody.